on our show?
We're talking whatever comes to our mind. No script, off the cuff, no notes, just me, Mark, and you.
I'm scared. Is that why we're out of our minds?
That's why we call it that. All this and more on this episode of the Out of Our Minds podcast.
Woo!
Welcome to the Out of Our Minds podcast. I'm Avery Jones.
I'm Marc Brown.
We hope you're having an excellent week. We know Thanksgiving is tomorrow.
Woo!
I hope you are prepping to eat as much food as you possibly can.
I've been stretching my stomach for a week.
Good. You got the fat pants in the car ready to go after dinner.
Only elastic, baby.
Ah, yeah. I myself am counting down to the Black Friday sales.
I'm counting down to the I have no money sales.
That's the same sales, isn't it? Do you get up at 4 a.m.? Do you do any of the early morning?
Oh, yes. I go and stand in line, and then I get the items, and I go to the cash register, and I go, oh, I have no money, and then I just leave. Because I want the experience, but I have none of the money, so...
Well, everything's such a great deal. I don't think you're doing a very good service to all of the stores that are offering...
Everything's such a great steal? Oh, okay. So you heard it here first, folks. He advocated for me to steal, especially from Best Buy.
The Out of Our Minds podcast does not encourage the stealing of anything.
Except for stealing our love.
You've stolen my heart by just watching this video. Thanks for that. No, I've done the Black Friday shopping once.
That's racist. And then what is it? The Black Friday after next?
I'm trying to carry on.
Get it? Movie jokes.
I know, but I'm trying to carry on a personal conversation with these people. Let them know that we're human beings and not.
But we're not human beings.
What are we?
We're cyborgs. I thought you knew this. Come on. Look at your legs, man. There are none.
Am I a cyborg or am I a puppet? Because most puppets don't have legs.
Well,
whose puppet?
That would explain the thing of your.
Welcome to the. We're going to start over. Welcome to the Out of Our Minds podcast. I'm Avery Jones.
I'm Marc Brown.
And this person is irrelevant.
I'm Marc Brown. Hi.
So we are not going to be talking about Thanksgiving sales any longer. Because somebody can't take anything seriously.
No, but we did want to say Happy Thanksgiving tomorrow, but we won't be here tomorrow, so I guess we just won't say it.
We'll be back with a regular episode, all the news that's fit to tell you the next week. So
right. We'll cover like 2 weeks of news in next week.
Sure.
This week is just. We just wanted to say thank you for all the 2 people that watch our videos over and over.
And we're the 2.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for you.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. So we just wanted to say thank you for all of you guys, and we wanted to say thank you to our families, because without you guys, we would not be here today.
Literally.
Yeah, literally, especially Mom and Dad, Thanks for, doing those things.
Raising us.
Yep.
Raising us. Why don't... Oh, man.
So, yes, and talking about families, talking about origins.
Yes.
We are going to be talking about origin stories. Specifically ours. Can
I start?
Yeah.
I was born in the city, and I went to see a theater production with my parents one night when they were tragically shot in an alley by either the Joker or some thug guy who got caught up in the wrong place. The stories differ, but ever since that night, I have taken it upon myself to single-handedly protect the city from all of the baddies that roam throughout the...
Are you Spider-Man?
That's not Spider-Man. That's me. That's Avery Jones. Remember that name after the...
Because that's a good alter ego for a superhero.
You don't want to hear what...
I'm Avery Jones. I have superpowers.
Is that what I sound like?
In my head, yeah.
Okay. What are my superpowers then, sir?
Puppeteering.
Instead of superpower.
Editing videos.
Good.
And
I call editing videos altering reality. If you don't like the or that you'd stumble over, I can get rid of it and make you look like a great fluent.
which is what he does with me every week.
Well, I try. There's only so much you can do. Anyway, secret origins of ourselves, how we got to be who we are, how we got to be where we are. You've got a much more interesting one than I do.
I don't think so.
I would love for you to tell the good people what this crazy world of the things we love, how that built you and shaped you into the smart human person that you are.
Well, I wouldn't say smart human person.
I was being generous.
Well, I appreciate it, but
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks for your gift. Thanks for your gift. Sure. Compliments.
That's what I do.
No, I guess my origin story kind of starts when I was probably like 4 or 5-ish. And I go over to a friend's house, and his older brother has some comic books laying around, and I'm like, ooh, pictures! And, like, I keep going up to my mom, what does this say? What does this say?
Do you remember what the book was?
This? I truly, I don't.
Okay.
I don't remember what the hero was. I don't remember, I like, the first ones that my mom ever got for me, which, thanks, Mom, because you are what made me into a geek. So she realized like that comics would like help me read, and so she purchased like a bajillion comic books for me as a kid, and some of the first ones were Captain America, so that explains.
A Marvel kid, huh?
Yeah, I was Marvel kid through and through because she felt like Batman was too dark for my
It's right there in the title usually.
Yeah, Dark Knight. Yeah, and around that time it was like around the Dark Knight era, whenever like that first released. So it was, which I don't remember what the year that was, but it was around. It was still fairly new. If it had already been released, it was still a fairly new comic, a fairly new concept of like adult comics, and so like she knew to kind of steer clear of those. But yeah, that's where I learned to read was comic books, and I highly recommend if you have a child who's struggling to read. Give them a comic book. They'll be interested in it. Guarantee you. Guaranteed. Especially if they love like the Iron Mans and the Hulks and all those.
And who doesn't?
Right. And then also my mom, thank you again, Mom, she raised me to be a Star Wars fanboy as well. She had all of the VHSs on
unaltered
VHSs of the original 3.
No CG Jabba or anything?
Nope. It was this weird like gas station looking dude, gas station attendant looking dude. He was like behind the counter. He was like digging in his belly button. That was the Jabba of the time, and then or in the first movie, anyways, A New Hope. So she made me watch all of those, and I absolutely loved them. And then when the prequels came out in the theater, she took me to go see all of those, and then I returned the favor whenever The Force Awakens came out, and I took her to go see it. It's kind of a little sweet.
This should be the Mother's Day episode. We should hold this off.
Sweet little thing that I did for Mom.
That's not. Are you going? Of course, Last Jedi.
Oh yes, I'm taking her to go see Last Jedi. I mean, she's not one of those like, oh, I'm gonna go see that at midnight, but I'll definitely take her like 2 or 3 days after for sure.
Will you be singing at midnight?
I will. Yes,
okay.
I'll be singing it way before her.
Okay.
Only because I can't wait.
Impatient.
Sorry, Mom. But yeah, she kind of like shapes my like geekdom sphere. And then another one of my aunts, for I believe my like 9th or 10th birthday, bought me the Fellowship of the Ring DVD, like the live action, one, with Peter Jackson directing and all that mess. And I literally watched it like over and over and over. I would rewind it and watch it again and rewind it and watch it again. Like I would fall asleep like after watching it 4 or 5 times, and then like I would rewind it because it had stopped.
What was it about that got you so
I don't know.
it?
I think it was like the CGI of it all, like because that was something that I had never seen before.
The scale. Of,
yeah,
the whole
I've
army?
never seen a real life person fighting an ogre or not?
yeah.
Were they ogres? The trolls.
Trolls.
Were they what? Were they? Were they ogres or were they trolls? The guy was in the cavern with the giant stick that Frodo stabs. He's like,
Are they not orcs?
No, not the orcs. Yes, but like he's the big one. I think they're trolls.
Not my world.
There might be a Harry Potter that I'm thinking of. That's the trolls. Trolls in the dungeon. But no.
I got that reference. Can't tell you about what Lord of the Rings guy was. Though.
I think it was ogre.
The big guy.
Yeah, the big guy. Anyways, so it was that scene in particular that really got me because I like saw like a real life person facing off against a CGI character, and it was an intense battle, man. And it really like captured my imagination, and I literally watched that VHS until it broke, like the tape snapped. It was done. So yeah, that's kind of where it all started for me. And it just kind of like once I started like to get a job and I could purchase things for myself, like it just got worse and
Danger
worse.
zone.
Oh, it's just bad.
So your mom is your
my mom is mainly the main reason why I'm a geek.
supplier.
Yeah, she's my dealer. Thanks, Mom. Got the hookup.
Before we proceed to my humble origin story, we would like to take a minute and look back on a television program that is no longer with us. This is a segment we call Rest in Peace. Rest in peace, Agent Carter. Canceled way before your time. Did not get to live up to your full potential, Agent Carter. We will remember you fondly. And I love that hat.
Would you say that it was premature cancellation?
Don't you worry, Agent Carter. You leave behind a young niece who her series will be taken care of by Captain America, if you catch my drift.
I mean, if you saw the scene in Civil War, under the bridge.
That's the whole joke.
Ow!
Her series will be fine. So, that is a new segment that will never be back. Thank you for indulging us. I've just had that joke in my head for 3 weeks and I needed to get it out. My humble origin is so boring in comparison to yours.
It's really not that.
Okay, so am I talking about just my origin to start with, or my origin into the world of what this show is about?
Well, I mean,
because I'll talk about puppets all day.
Well, yeah, okay. I would say a little bit about the puppets because like that is part of your world. That is part of your like stuff that you're crazy about. So like, of course.
Okay. So
yeah.
I got my first puppet when I was 5 years old.
Okay, too far back.
What?
I'm just kidding.
What? When I was 5 years old, I went to live with my Aunt May. And my Aunt May and my uncle, Uncle Ben, they raised me until one fateful night when my Uncle Ben was gunned down in the street by either a thug or a pro wrestler. Upon that night, I took the oath myself that Uncle Ben recited as he died in my arms.
Are you Batman?
Yes, I'm Batman. Like I said, my story's not all that interesting. My dad had always had puppets around the house, so of course I was. What else would I go into?
I mean, that's like just like really expensive toys.
Yeah. And then once I figured out how expensive they were, I started making my own. Yeah. So that's what started my real obsession, was just the availability of the, like, your comic book solution to I was also ridiculously and incredibly shy and would not talk to any human being.
As you can see, ever. He has not changed much.
I am exactly the same person talking to all two of you. All over the internet and in films, like you do. But I was homeschooled also, so there's another nail in my coffin of just, there's no social interaction. There's, all right, public school, simmer down. So I'm just saying. I would interact with other homeschoolers, which there's a fun bunch, I'll tell you, on a very rare basis. So I really didn't have a whole lot of interaction until the day I happened into into a theater. Are you all right there?
Yep.
What's
I'm just
the matter?
gonna, you know.
Why at the distance? You just want me to move in?
Oh.
So I got into theater when I was about 13, and that's when I really figured out that
that's kind of what happened to me too. Like, you know, I hate to cut you off. I'm sorry, but the theater teacher at Harris County High School, Valerie Longshore Sargent.
I know
what
her.
Up? Yeah, you do know her. She actually kind of pulled me aside one day because I had like my headphones in and like my hood up, whatever, and she was like, you gotta take the headphones out. You know, that's against school policy. Take your hood off, blah blah blah. And I was like, all right, fine, whatever. I was a loner. I was also kind of quiet, even though in a public school. Go figure. And she was like, hey,
Did you have puppets too?
I didn't have puppets. Although I did have this one puppet of a lion, but it was like a stuffed animal that you could just put your hand in and work the mouth. I mean, I guess technically that's a puppet, right?
That's a puppet.
Okay. So I did have one puppet.
We can still be friends.
Actually, I think I still have it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll bring it by. So
theater.
Yeah, theater. Yeah,
you go with your theater thing.
Going.
So you got pulled into the theater world.
Yeah, Val was like, you know, I need guys for my show. I need people. I need bodies. Come and audition. I was like, all right, cool. Yeah. Theater. Lame. And then I auditioned and I got cast and I did the role and I was addicted. And
so how old would you have been at this point?
Probably 14, 15.
Okay.
Because it was like my freshman year of high school, so.
My sister wanted to go audition for the show at the theater, and I got drug along because what else am I going to do, sit at home?
I mean, hey,
and as soon as I walk in, they throw audition forms at me and throw me on the stage and stuff, and the show was Cinderella.
Oh.
And they're like, you're going to read for Prince Charming. The director had this Brooklyn accent. And
he sounded like
the guy from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. A tune killed my brother. And you're going to be Prince Charming. So he got me up on stage, and I was so terrified I walked off before the line came around for the audition. And I walked over to him, and I just went, I don't talk, and walked away. And he's like, okay. And so they put me in the chorus of that show for some reason.
He just leaned over and go,
I don't talk. And he goes, okay. He understood. He knew. He got it.
Why have you not told me this story?
I thought you knew this story.
No.
So they still put me in the chorus of the show for some reason. And then 2 weeks down the road, they had a bunch of people drop out, and they needed a guy. And so the director came and sat next to me in the theater. And he's just like,
will you talk now?
And he's just like, we need somebody. You only have 3 lines. And so I said sure, and I got up and did it. And I didn't.
Oh, God, that's hilarious.
I was not loud enough on my first line, so it got cut, and I went down to 2 lines, and they still couldn't hear me in the theater because I don't project. Are you kidding me? So I decided I would do a voice for the character so the world could hear me, and I did, and they laughed, and that's why I'm here, because I got a laugh on my first line, and I got addicted to that. Like you said, it's that theater.
Yeah, it's that little
stuff.
bug that gets
and
in
so
you.
I moved to another theater after that, and met a bunch of people, and then that's when it was like everybody's going out to the movies to see Dark Knight, and I have no idea what it is because that's not the world I grew up in either. I didn't do Batman. I didn't do superhero movies. I didn't do Star Wars stuff.
So because of theater, you got introduced to the geek world because of other geeks that were in theater.
Because of people that would go to see this, and I wanted to hang out with these people. So I got roped in my first superhero movie. Would you like to guess what my first superhero movie that I ever saw was? Marvel.
Okay, Marvel.
Because I was probably about 16 at this point of my life.
I would say Avengers?
No, it was Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, the first one. And then
way early.
And then I binged all of those other ones in about a week.
Gotcha.
But with my girlfriend at the time. But
I mean, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, it's not a bad one to start off on.
It's a good entry level. Yeah, it's not. It doesn't expect much of you.
Yeah, it doesn't have a whole lot of comic book facts, but that's okay.
I didn't know that.
Well, you do now.
I do now. And then that same year, I watched Star Wars for the first time because people had been on me for years, and I do mean years, to watch Star Wars, and I got.
And I'm still on you for years because you haven't watched the prequels. I haven't watched
the prequels because.
Okay. Let's just let me validate myself for just a second. Okay.
This was about me.
You have to watch the prequels because it is part of the Star Wars universe. Yes, some will say that you don't have to watch them. They don't really help the plot line, which I agree with you. But if you're going to consider yourself a Star Wars fan, you have to indulge yourself with all things Star Wars, which includes the prequels, even though they are terribly written, and that they were terribly acted, and that they should be banned forever. But you have to watch them because it's like being a bandwagon fan. I know you don't really understand that reference because you're not in sports, but all right, so a team's doing really, really well, it's going to have a lot of people that like it. And as soon as they start doing bad, they're like, you don't want to be a bandwagon fan. Watch the prequels.
I've watched the Christmas special. I've watched the Droid series.
Okay, that's good enough.
I mean, what else do you want from me? The Ewok special things, I watched those too.
That's good enough.
Okay, thank you.
That's good enough.
Thank you.
Because those were really bad.
So, I got into all of those things in 2015?
20 something.
2020 vision. And have been, look at me now, man. Look at this. This is my house. And I've gotten to... Knock him over, be careful.
I'm not going to knock him over. I'm petting him.
Okay. I've gotten some amazing opportunities because of the things that I didn't know even existed.
Such as?
Such as, I don't know, that film that I got to work on with a bunch of people.
What film?
I've gone 5 episodes without plugging that movie. So
go ahead.
I'm proud of me. I was in a movie, people. It's called Goosebumps, and I got to work
Jack Black.
With Jack Black. Thank you. I wasn't going to say it, but the people that built Slappy are the people that build the Avengers armor, and they build the suits
really
for the Justice
stuff.
League.
Do we want to say how much the puppet was?
It was like a $45,000 puppet. It was I know. I got lightheaded just thinking about that. But
it's more than my car.
But yeah, more than any of the cars I've owned combined.
Yes. Yes.
So I those
Golly.
Getting into theater was the little step that took me into this whole world of actually socializing with people, finding out what those people like, falling into the world and liking it myself, and then getting to walk a little bit in that world with those people and all the experiences of working with the people that make those, seeing how the sausage was made.
There you go. I feel like maybe my backstory was a little bit more juicy than yours, but your life after you became a geek is much more juicy.
Because my origin story started really late for me.
Yeah.
Because I was, a homeschooled puppeteer who hid out at my house for years and years.
I mean, hey, but if you can be a homeschooled puppeteer that just hangs out at your house for years and years and land a movie role, by all means.
I mean, I did work very hard on my craft in that time, so I did work up to that. I just called it my craft, didn't I?
You did.
Puppets. I don't want to take myself too seriously. Don't want to take myself too seriously here.
I want to take you seriously, but I can't. Oh!
It's because of my face. It's because of my face, isn't it?
Oh, I was going to say because of your puppets, but...
Okay. Fair enough. Maybe we'll bring some of those on. Maybe they can co-host the show with you next time. They don't have legs either.
Hey, I would love to.
Okay, April Fool's Day show. Mark it down, people. We're doing Avery and Marc puppets on April Fool's Day.
Does that mean I get a puppet that looks like me?
Did I just spoil the surprise? I have to train you. We need about 16 years of hiding you out.
Are you serious?
We'll get there, my friend.
This is breaking news. I really didn't know about this, guys. Are you serious?
It's on tape now, so I can't really go back on it.
Are you dead serious?
Yeah, we'll get there.
Holy crap! Oh my gosh, I got a puppet that looks like me.
We'll consider that your Thanksgiving, Christmas, and birthday present for the next couple of years.
Oh my god, this is amazing. I'm like getting all like hot and bothered now because like I've always wanted to stick my hand up something that looks like me. Puppet guys, stop. Perverted. Stop it. Oh yes, let's move on.
Let's move forward and away from this into something that's happening in the modern day, into a new segment that we are calling My Current Obsession. There are things that don't necessarily relate to the list of things that entail this show, so I will obsess over.
Yes.
And then I'll be all about it, and then 2 weeks later I'll have moved on.
Right, of course.
We'll just call that, I don't know what the proper word for that would be. Let's coin a phrase right now.
A minor obsession? No.
No, not a
minor.
I'm
Temporary.
A kick. I'm on a kick.
Yeah. That works.
Side quest.
Side quest. Yes. Side quest.
I know a game word. So right now, my current side quest is a bit of music, and I think yours is as well.
It is.
I've been talking a lot lately. Why don't you tell me about your current obsession side quest?
If you've ever imagined...
I got a phone call about this, people. Yeah. I gotta let him talk about it on the show.
Actually, I did. Once I found out about it.
It was 11 o'clock at night.
Yes, it was 11 o'clock at night.
Proceed.
And there was a friend of mine who showed me a thing, because I like to find weird random videos on YouTube and show them to people.
Like, Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared.
Yes.
Do you know Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared?
Yes.
We should do a whole episode about that.
Next episode.
You got me talking about puppets now. It's not going to stop. We got to start a Disney a puppet jar.
You're going to have a Disney and puppet jar. I'm just going to have an Overwatch jar, which, by the way.
Another one.
So, a buddy of mine, I showed him this video of this band called Lady Baby, which is a Japanese metal band, and it has these two girls that are singing like, and then it's got the guy that's going, and like playing the guitar and all that. And then he was like, "Have you ever heard of Babymetal?" And I was like, "What is this?"
That's what you get awarded at the Baby Olympics.
A baby metal. I just picture a baby on the pedestal.
They've got to climb up. That's the only event, is climbing up the stairs.
And they're just standing and they're holding the little baby metal.
Just a diaper.
And they just poop themselves. Oh my god!
And everybody sees it.
America! No, so if you've ever had the urge to wonder what J-pop, which is Japanese pop music, and metal would sound like together,
if they had a
baby, look up Babymetal. Because I guarantee you will either be one of two things: extremely satisfied and so glad that I told you, or so disappointed that it makes you want to throw up.
What are the starting points? What song should they... What's the entry point song?
Type in Babymetal on YouTube, and the first two videos that pop up should be Give Me Chocolate and Karate.
Are they actual babies?
No, they're really not. It's these three, I guess they're teenagers. Yeah, they're teenagers. 3 teenage Japanese girls, and the songs start out so heavy that it's like, and then all of a sudden they come in, they're like, say ya, and you're completely thrown off because you're expecting this heavy metal,
I spent 10 minutes of my life on this, people. I think you should too. Look it up. Worth it. Babymetal. Just Google it.
Yes,
and
I am obsessed. I want them to come to America again because they were, and they actually opened up for Metallica.
Really?
They did. Yeah, because they were extremely heavily influenced by Metallica, and Metallica whenever Babymetal came over to America, Metallica reached out and was like, "Hey, we heard you liked us. Why don't you come open for us?" And they were like, "Ah!" So yeah, exactly. And I'm pretty sure some of the band members from Metallica actually played with them on stage, which was really cool.
That had to be the craziest show in the history of time.
Could you imagine like being such a fan of something and that like super big fan that you create your own thing and then the people that you were a fan of reach out to you and go, hey, you want to do this with us? It's kind of like, it's exactly like you.
I was going to say, that sounds like my Sesame Street experience.
It's exactly like you. Oh my gosh. But yes, that's what I'm addicted to right now.
That sounds much crazier than a Sesame Street episode.
Well, you know, go look it up. I'm telling you won't be disappointed. Or you might.
And if you are, maybe one of your friends will like it because
please, yeah.
I would never have suspected that would be what you're into.
Babymetal.
Oh wow! My current obsession is my side quest. Rather, going to be pale in comparison to this.
I don't think so.
But it all comes back around from theater because this all started from I saw a show at the Springer Opera House here, Georgia State Theater, ladies and gentlemen. That it's called $1 Million Quartet, and it is about Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, Jerry Lee Lewis, and Carl Perkins.
Oh, wow.
And the one fateful day that they all happened to be in a recording studio together. And just them jamming. No agents, no fans, no one's around. It's just...
them being musicians in a musician's...
They met up at Sun Studios in Nashville. And the whole album you can find on YouTube. It's like 40-something tracks. And somebody had the foresight to flip the switch and record the whole thing. And they didn't know it existed for years and years until somebody bought the studio and was going through the back in all the boxes of the old tape. And they found all of these recordings of... It's Elvis singing like Jingle Bells. And just it's not pretty. It's not all like... You'll hear like a guitar's out of key, and you'll hear him yell at somebody to straighten it up, and then in just the conversations that happens in between. And it's a real album that actually exists, and they made a show.
So it's
off
like
of
them just hanging out as friends and recording, like doing what musicians do. Because I do have a couple friends who are musicians, and they will they'll have a jam session.
It's just a jam session,
and they just hang out and play music.
Elvis was, I believe, 22 years old at this point, so he had just done his first movie
and his first cocaine line.
Dude, come on, man.
It's a well-known fact. Let's not act like it didn't happen. Come on.
Well, I was trying to bring a positive side to this.
Yeah. Oh, thank you very much.
That's Elvis's famous line.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this album is great because it's just guys doing what they do, and there's no pressure to them, and you can hear it's very nice, and they're nice and relaxed together. Nobody's going, can I get an autograph? They're just all...
That would be kind of weird,
the
though.
Pros hanging out. Elvis coming over. Hey, Johnny Cash, can I get on?
Hey, Johnny, you mind if I snag a signature? That's how Elvis sounds in my head.
He didn't actually talk like that. So
that's how he sounds in my
the
head.
whole show is based around the album as well as this photograph that I'm showing up with the four of them around the piano, which is pretty famous, if you will, and plays into the show as well. And it's awesome, and it's my I guess my earworm right now is all those tracks that are circling around in there. It has nothing to do with the show we're talking about now, so this is the end of my current obsession.
Side quest
thing. Yeah. Anything else you'd like to add?
Oh, just fill your bellies, fill your minds, then get out of your minds, and then get back in. Play around a little bit. Spend time with family.
Do you have
eat dressing?
What is your favorite Thanksgiving food? Ooh. As we close out? Let's do some.
Oh gosh.
Let's find out even more about you.
See, here's the thing:
it's a very revealing episode.
Here's the thing, though. I'm probably going to show this to my family during Thanksgiving, and we do kind of like a potluck style. Like everybody brings their signature dish, and I don't want to call anybody out, but Aunt Brenda's dirty rice, Aunt Cheryl's chocolate pie, and Aunt Cheryl's dressing. But not to call anyone out, for sure. Yeah.
just keep it vague.
Mm-hmm.
Just very vague. No names.
Just no names, no specific dishes, but bring extra. What about you?
I always go for the mashed potatoes.
Nice.
I'm a weird eater. I don't like flavors mixing.
No, he doesn't.
So mashed potatoes are always there.
I called him. I said, "Hey, you want a taco?" Always... He goes, "No, too many flavors." What?
Flavors shouldn't intermingle.
What?
It's against the Bible. So I don't.
Satan!
Whatever.
If Satan loves Flavors mixing, I mean.
Right. I'm sure he does. Wow, this episode is just all over the place. No wonder we call ourselves out of our mind. We hope you have a happy Thanksgiving and a very safe after Thanksgiving day shopping.
Make sure not to drive whenever you're too sleepy from turkey.
That's a good point. And be careful when you're getting up at those 2 a.m.s to go snag that toaster.
Well, shoot, I'm leaving straight after dinner.
Oh, is that right?
I'm camping.
You're camping out?
Camping, baby.
I thought you didn't do that.
Well, I do, but I just don't have any money to do it. So I literally just go, get the items, and then not check out.
Oh, good. Do you just look at them? Just an admirer.
I have lots of things. They're acquired certain ways. Thanks for watching!
We'll see you next Tuesday for one of our normal shows here on the Out of Our Minds podcast. Until then, I'm Avery Jones.
And I am your theft thief.
Your theft thief.
Theft thief. Marc Brown.
Until next time, I just saluted these people.
Bye!
Thank you so much for watching this episode of our show. If you liked what you saw and liked what you heard, check us out on all of our social media. We're on Facebook, we're on SoundCloud, we are on YouTube. Make sure you spread the love.
What?